Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Nemeka Onyeka Odere. I saw a trending video of teenagers in a college. The boy was bullying the girl, hitting her, throwing her to the ground. And there were other kids there, other teenagers, boys like him, and they were all giggling. It really broke my heart because I tried to visualize. I have two daughters, and I tried to visualize any of my daughters being at that receiving end. And I also have a son, a very big teenager, a 16-year-old boy, bigger than he is in physical size. Now, this thing also brings me down to the same issue of parenting, the same issue of training. Bible says, train your kids in the way they should go. When they become adults, they will not depart from it. The problem we have in our society today is all originated from the family. It's not a church thing, it's not a mosque thing, it's a family thing. When children are properly raised from home, they are shaped to become whatever they become as adults. The biggest influence in the life of any child are his parents, his or her parents. If you are a father and you are there, you're not a deadbeat father. If you're a mother and you are there always for your children, you are their best friend, you are their best counselor, they look unto you, they see what you do, they watch what you say, they will learn from you. And if you have that influence over their life, external influences will be, of course, there are exceptions to this rule. My heart bled. And I'm very, very sure, based on training, if my boy was in that gathering, that boy that was smacking that girl demons will have been smacked. He will have smacked the demons out of him. I grew up under a father who was very big, 6 feet plus, 6 feet 4. My mom, petite, not that big. I never saw my father raise his fingers on my mom. I never saw my father talk down on his elder sisters, even the younger sisters. I never saw my dad talk back to his elder brother. See, my father was such a very bold, fearless, audacious activist. I have seen my father slap demons out of men who tried to ridicule the sisters or who tried to insult his elder brother. But I never saw my father lay hand on my mom or any other female for that matter. I remember then as a 9-year-old kid, my father was having an argument with his elder sister who was, my father, 6 feet 4, the elder sister was even not 5 feet. I don't know what happened. The elder sister raised up her hand and slapped her, and slapped him. My father stood up and looked at her glaringly, turned away and started crying. I never saw my father shed tears. But for the first time, I saw my father shed tears. And my father told her, they've not born the man in the whole of Ihu Amasa that would dare lift his finger or his hand to his face, and the person will still keep on standing. But you did it because you know he will not retaliate. When my father's sister broke down and hugged him and started begging him, because she knew that my father will never do the same thing that she did to him. It was the spur of moment, anger. The woman started crying, hugged my father, begged him and everything. And they settled, brother, sister. And the same way, my kids have not seen me even talk violently towards their mom. Talk less of even raising a finger. Because I never saw my dad did it. And I didn't learn it from anywhere. So, we must train our children. I've said this thing, if you know you're not ready to parent, if you know, rather than produce monsters and lay them out into the society, please stay single. Even if you want to be doing it, do with contraceptives. Don't produce demons that will torment society in the name of procreating children. I beg you in the name of God. Society will deal better with, the greatest legacy any man or woman will give to society is not the houses you built. It's not the cars you have. It's not the amount in your bank account. The greatest legacy you will give to mankind is your ability to procreate children and raise them to be responsible members of society who love God with all their heart and love their neighbors as themselves. Please, I beg you, train your children well. Nothing is solved through violence, through fisticuffs. Even during wars, after wars have happened, properties destroyed, people will still come to the table. So why will you resort to violence when you can actually negotiate yourself out of the problems? Even after the Second World War, land, properties destroyed, lives destroyed, people still came back to the negotiating table. Why? See, the difference between us human beings and animals is that God has given us that empathy, that compassion, that sense of self-dignity and what? That sense, brain that enables us to know, if I do this thing to this person. Jesus Christ said, the greatest of the laws and commandments are these two. Love the Lord your God with all your heart. Love your neighbor as yourself. And the truth that you can't even love God when you cannot love the human beings that you can see. It's not possible for you to claim to love an invisible God. In Matthew chapter 25, go and read it from 25 to the end. Jesus Christ was telling them, when I was naked, you did not clothe me. When I was hungry, you did not feed me. When I was shelterless, you did not provide me shelter. And those people were busy asking him, Lord, when were you this? He said, when you have done it to the less privileged in your society, you provide shelter to them, provide food, provide accommodation, provide clothing. You are doing it for God. You cannot claim to love God, who is invisible, when you cannot love your neighbor. May God help us. Train your children. Train your children. Raise them well. God bless you.